Hi, Representative DeFazio. My name is Josh Huff, and I represent Corvallis Palestine Solidarity. I am setting my timer for 30 seconds.
Good for you.
I'll do my best. There are several of us here.
We'll
in
give
the
you a
room.
minute.
Okay, thank you very much. There are several of us here. Doesn't sound like a domestic issue, but I would argue does have domestic ramifications, both fiscally and morally. It was beautiful in November when you co-sponsored HR 1493, No Way to Treat a Child, which would prohibit U.S. taxpayer dollars from going to fund Israel's persecution of children in military jails as young as the age of 12. I was a volunteer who lived in the West Bank for a number of years, and that means a lot to me. Also, thank you for not co-sponsoring HR 1697, the Israel Anti-Boycott Act, which I believe is antithetical to the free speech protections in the First Amendment. I would ask that you please, when that does come to the floor, as it's more likely to do than 1493 in the current Congress, to...
I think I already voted against the Anti-Boycott Act.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it already came
Well,
up.
then
I mean,
double-
they've been doing a lot of messaging bills, but I'm pretty sure I already voted against it. It already came up and it already passed.
Thank you.
But it won't pass the Senate.
Okay, thank you, double thank you then. I would also like to ask a little bit of a farther reach, if you would at some point make plans to visit Gaza, as some other previous members have done. I hope you'll, I want to thank you for your recent letter your letter that you signed calling for action on the Gaza humanitarian crisis, and I hope you would join Representatives Pocan, Kildee, and Johnson in requesting Israel allow them access to Gaza. Given that the U.S. gives more military aid to Israel than any other country, and given the dire humanitarian crisis in Gaza caused by Israel's blockade, it's crucial for congressional oversight for members of Congress to be able to visit Gaza and witness the blockade firsthand.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, I've been pretty outspoken on this issue, starting with the settlements many years ago, and of course now we're so far away from that and the two-state solution that, for one moment had some hope when Clinton was trying to negotiate that. We're with this administration, obviously we're losing ground, and they're pretty much delivering on whatever Netanyahu wants. I did not go to listen to Netanyahu when he spoke to Congress. I've been to Israel once, and I realized how small it is and how oppressed people are, and like the bulldozing of houses of families and all the stuff they do. When I was there, I said, well, I'd like to meet with some people from Peace Now, and they're like, oh my God, no, you can't. I said, yeah, no, I'm gonna want to meet with, which are Israelis who think that, this is really, they're on the wrong track. But there's still more dissent in the Israeli press about the policies of Netanyahu than there is in ours, which is really unfortunate. So, I mean, I've taken a pretty outspoken position. One of my cousins is married to a Jewish guy, and she once wanted to know why I was on the enemies list of Israel. And the speech, where this was many years ago, a beautiful it was one of the first suicide attacks by a woman, Palestinian woman, had blown herself up and killed an Israeli. And they looked like they could be sisters. And I went to the floor and I held up a picture of each of them and said, when is this going to end? And that got me on for a while on the enemies of Israel list, because it was, I can't remember what the name was. It's like equivalence or something like that I was saying that the killer was equivalent to the other. I was just saying this is crazy. We'll do what we can from Congress, but within the majority, and let that bill already pass. It's not going to change for a bit. But I think it's really ultimately detrimental to the people of Israel. It's detrimental to getting any sort of peace or balance in the Middle East. It feeds things like ISIS and Hamas and others, and it's really, really unfortunate.